Well, I'm happy today to welcome Joe Gillice. Joe is the Chief Operating Officer of CeriFi, which is a company that's based out of Atlanta. And just a little bit about CeriFi, just kind of high level. I know that you all do all sorts of sort of professional licensing and certification type training for the financial services industry. Welcome. Thanks for spending time with us today. There's all sorts of things that I want to talk about, but I guess just generally, what else or what all does CeriFi do aside from kind of what I just said?
Sure. Well, thank you, Eric, for the introduction, and thank you for having me. CeriFi is a comprehensive financial services training company. And so we really serve folks that are entering the financial services industry at the very beginning of their career, all the way through until they're ready to retire. And so if you just look at it in kind of a couple of big buckets, when you first enter the industry, there's some compliance training that you need, whether we're talking about securities licensing or insurance pre-licensing. And then from there, you may go on for additional training like CPA, CFA, CFP, enrolled agent, or you might need training such as if you're working for a bank, anti-money laundering type training. Or financial risk management training. And so we really offer comprehensive financial services training and education.
And so in a lot of ways, you're sort of a partner with the university, right? I mean, we provide education at the university, and I know that you start working with students even as college students, but then you're just kind of walking them through the career. So it's very good for us to know each other and for us to work together. We'll talk a little bit later about some actual things that we are doing together between the University of Tennessee and CeriFi. But for now, I want to really focus on our current students, and so and I'm specifically thinking about our finance majors or students in related fields that have some finance aspirations. It's my understanding that at least in the past, a lot of folks would start getting various certifications once they get jobs, and sort of that's part of their onboarding process. And some of those certifications are going to be specific to the job at hand, but that's kind of changing, right? And there's this new, relatively new exam called, I think it's called the SIE
Correct.
exam.
Yep.
And so let's start there. I know that I, as a faculty member, since this is so new and fresh, I don't know much about it, and so certainly many of my students don't know about it. But this sounds like something that would be a very good thing for them. So let's talk about the SIE. So what is it, first of all?
Sure. The SIE is the Securities Industry Essentials exam. And so maybe I'll start 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, if you were to go to, say, work for a Merrill Lynch and become a broker selling stocks, bonds, mutual funds, they would put you through Series 7 training. You needed a securities license before you could begin selling investment products. And you had to work for or be sponsored by a brokerage firm like Merrill Lynch in order to sit for the Series 7 exam. Well, about 3 years ago, the rules were changed. And what they did was they took the most common concepts that were tested on a number of series exams and pulled them out. And really, it's foundational material. And they created what is called the SIE exam. And so anyone can take the SIE exam. You don't have to be sponsored or working for, say, a brokerage firm. And so what we're seeing and what we believe the future holds is every university in the country will offer SIE education for their students so that they can sit for and pass the SIE exam, because that's one more training or licensure that the students will have that they don't have to earn while employed at, say, a firm. And so it helps speed up the time that a new hire is able to go into production and begin generating revenue for the firm. And so, as an undergraduate student or graduate student, especially the finance majors, getting that SIE out of the way makes you a more attractive candidate. And once you actually get to the firm, it gets you through training a little bit faster and into kind of the nitty gritty nuts and bolts of the job that you'll be doing.
Got it. So people will still have to go for subsequent certifications, but the SIE is basically the foundation or the starting point for a number of different routes. And so one of them is like the Series 7. So that would be like if someone's going down a brokerage route, but this is much broader than just brokers, right? We're talking about anything in insurance industry, a number of others, I believe. Is that right? So what is, I guess, what all is SIE going to be the foundation for?
So in order to sell any sort of investment product, stock, bond, mutual fund, option, you need a securities license. If you're going to be in the insurance industry and you're selling an insurance product that has an investment component attached to it, you need a securities license. And so the SIE is foundational to both the Series 7 and the Series 6 exams. Once you complete the SIE, then you would either take the Series 6 or Series 7, and they call them top-off exams now, the Series 6, Series 7 top-off exam, depending upon the type of firm or industry that you're working in.
Gotcha. And this is, my understanding is content-wise, much of this is taught in sort of a standard finance degree program if you kind of pull some classes together, but we're talking about sort of taking material from a number of different things, and then in terms of prepping for the SIE exam, we've got to take the material from a number of different places in the curriculum, put it all together, and then maybe supplement it with maybe a few additional things, maybe regulatory type things, so rules, for example, and sort of put it all together. And so we're prepping for an exam that covers all of that. Is that the way to think about this?
That's the idea. So I was a finance major, and while a number of the finance courses do cover some of the concepts and materials that you would see on an SIE exam, the SIE material goes deeper into rules, regulations, and so you definitely, you're not, just by being a finance major, you're not necessarily in a position to pass the SIE exam. You definitely need to take some sort of preparatory course to get that deeper understanding of the material before you're ready to test.
Gotcha. And CeriFi's a central part of CeriFi's business model is to identify things like this, like the SIE, pull the curriculum together and sort of walk people through the process and get them all the way up to the exam, and hopefully get them to a place where they can pass the exams, right?
Absolutely. And again, I just want to reemphasize for the folks that are listening to this, it's when you go through college and you get your degree, the goal is to become employable, right? And go out and get a job and start your career. And this is one more step in the process of becoming employable and marketable, especially when you're competing with thousands of other finance major graduates in the spring of every year. And so really, it's really the first step, and I encourage folks to consider it.
Well, and a very exciting thing that's happening right now as we speak. We are putting something together with your material, so University of Tennessee, and we are going to be rolling this out, I believe, in that we have a new winter intersession. So 4 weeks, 3 weeks in January between semesters. So this is kind of a new thing for University of Tennessee. We've got this place where we can put these little mini courses. And so we are working on right now putting together a 1 credit hour mini course that's going to use your curriculum, and we're going to teach it under special topics, and have sort of the review modules that are taking place in January. And so we'll actually have some students that can take this in house at UT and sit for the SIE exam. And so we're really excited. And so for my students out there and everyone else that's listening to this, stay tuned, because we're going to have some information very, very soon about how current UT students can actually get involved in this and hopefully get through the SIE. And but this is something that in terms of who can take it, or maybe who should go ahead and take it. So I teach right now juniors, and we're doing the sort of the intro finance course. And so these juniors also either have simultaneously a financial statements analysis course, or they've got a financial statements analysis course coming up the next semester, and then we've got an investments course coming up somewhere right around that same time. I'll have students that took the intro to finance in the fall of 2021. Then I'll also have some that took the intro to finance in like the spring of 2021. They took investments in the fall of 2021. Could either of those take it, or you recommend that they wait a little bit?
No, I think that is a good time to take it, as I kind of think through the question, Eric, because potentially you're looking at, if you waited, say, until the summer between junior and senior year, are there internships that they might have a conflict with? And then once your senior year rolls around, you're adding in interviewing and putting your resume together. I think you definitely want this on your resume when you go to start interviewing your senior year. So I think this is that what you've outlined is a very good time to get.
So they'll have to be completely. As I think about this, I get really excited because I know it's just a great opportunity for our students, and so to make this a little bit more real for them, can you talk a little bit about maybe some specific hiring practices that you're observing, and exactly where in the hiring process you're seeing the SIE adding value in the here and now?
Yeah, and so Eric, I get excited about this too, because this is a really rewarding part of what we do, which is helping folks start their careers and get a job. And so we work with, almost all of the major financial service firms, and partnerships with them, training, whether it's required compliance type licensing, securities and insurance licensing, or more compulsory advanced designation, CPA, CFA, CFP. And so we are seeing really unprecedented demand for our training amongst the major firms in financial services. And they're really going on hiring sprees. And without naming specific firms and disclosing what their hiring practices are at the moment, but some firms are hiring hundreds, if not thousands, of new employees a month. And so the SIE will definitely set candidates apart as, hey, I'm a serious candidate. I know this is what I want to do. I've already checked this box in terms of the licensing that I will need to be a productive employee. But what we're also seeing in financial services as a whole is this push to increase the racial diversity of the candidates that are being hired, both the racial and gender diversity of the candidates that they're hiring. And so the firms want to have be better representatives of the type of customers that they're servicing. And so to that extent, they're placing an emphasis on the diversity initiatives that they have, and a real push to hire more minority candidates. And so it's a great opportunity to start a career in financial services, and the job prospects are the best I've seen. I've been in this industry for almost 25 years.